This your girl, Topnotch Violet, and I have the pleasure of interviewing Dina Jolley. How are you doing tonight?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. It is a pleasure interviewing you on tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Can I have that flower on that beautiful blazer that you have on?
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about Dina Jolley? Who are you?
I am a retired entrepreneur, and my tagline is I create repurposed fashion made with passion. So that's pretty much in a nutshell who Dina Jolley is.
Okay, I like that. Do you have any partners involved in your business?
Not directly. I have partners that I work with when I do vendor events. We kind of, feed off of one another, help one another for our events. And name's Melanie. She has a Mel's Accessory Bar. So she does some stuff with denim as well. So when we do partner together, it kind of works because we have different pieces, but they kind of work together.
Okay, so how often do you vend? How often do you vend?
I try to not do more than once a month, only because I hand make everything that I do. So because of that, I have to allow time in between the events to make, everything that I'm going to have at the events that I do.
Okay, so what made you decide to go on entrepreneurship?
I was a single mom and I wasn't getting any child support. So I had to find alternative ways to bring income into my house. At the time, I was a flight attendant. And on my days off, it was a matter of, what else can I do? And I've always been into some type of arts and crafts of some sort. And I've always liked doing gift baskets. And it was kind of, I guess, refreshing to me when I would create a basket for somebody or a company and just to see the expression on people's face once they received our gift baskets. So it was just really heartwarming for me.
Okay, so do you ever get invited to any type of fashion shows or anything like that?
I haven't up to this point, but I did get invited beginning of May. There's a girls' school over in Baltimore that are going to have a fashion show, and the fashion show title is "It's a Man's World, Not." So they asked me if I would create some pieces for 25 girls for this particular fashion show. So now I'm going to meet with them next Wednesday to kind of get a look at the girls to determine, what I might make for, which particular person, and then just kind of come up with some ideas of something that 25 girls can make
Right.
and wear, I should say.
Have you always been crafty?
I have, I
Okay.
have, it, with pretty much everything, interior design. I feel like, if I come back, in another life, I want to be an interior decorator. So I've always like decorating or designing in some form of fashion.
Okay. So how long have you been in business?
This particular business, the upcycling, about 9 years. I went to a vendor event. There was a vendor there that had a table full of uh, necklaces that were made out of neckties, and I purchased one. And when I got home, I said, "This is really cool. Um, Maybe I can make it myself." And I had surplus of ties left over from when I had a custom men's clothing business, and I just started playing around with the neckties. I never know what a tie is going to turn out to until I get it in my hand. And once I get it in my hand and fill around with it, and then I pin the design, and then I come back and hand sew the design. And I guess the difference between my tie designs, I should have worn one today, but the difference between my tie designs and some of the ones that are out there now, all of mine are hand sewn and they all snap around your neck
Okay.
because I came across a few women that had allergic reaction to metal. So with the tie designs, they have a way of, having a statement piece without having to worry about having some type of allergic reaction to it. And then, started making the tie designs, and then from that, I'm always looking for, okay, what else, what else, what else. So I was taking the ties and I was getting denim fabric and making denim clutch bags. And then from there, I was adding neckties to denim jackets. So I did that. But then it got to be where the denim fabric was a little costly. So I said, well, let me just cut up some blue jeans and use that particular denim as a way of, upcycling, helping the environment, all of that type of thing. And then once I started cutting the jeans up, I found there were so many cool pieces to a pair of jeans. And unfortunately for me, I don't like to throw stuff away. So I have a bin full of maybe just the waistbands of jeans, a bin full of pockets from the jeans,
Mm,
because I just never know, when an idea comes, I want to be able to have whatever I need on
okay.
hand.
So how long does it take to craft maybe a blazer?
Not long at all. What takes more time is pinning it. Once I pin something in place, it takes me no time just to sew it.
Okay.
So, like on Sunday, right now, this week, I've been working on sweatshirt dresses. And on Sunday was my prep day. I think I prepped maybe 10 or 11 sweatshirt dresses to sew.
Wow.
And that was supposed to be for the week, but I ended up doing all of them on Monday because I had prepped them. It just took me no time to sew.
Okay. So do you do pop-ups out of town?
I do, but it's kind of hard to determine what a good out of town pop up is going to be, unless I have someone in that particular city that has said, hey, this is a pretty good event. I think it would be a good fit for you. Why don't you try to do this one? But we tried that last year in Atlanta, thinking that would be a good market,
Okay.
and it really was a disappointment for us.
Okay.
But we're always open to go and somewhere else.
Okay. So how can the listening audience find you?
I have a website. My website is www.dishardesign.com. That's DISHARDESIGN. And on Instagram, it's Dishar Designs with an S. I do have a Facebook page. Don't do much with the Facebook page. I'm more on Instagram, trying to get a little bit better as far as posting.
Okay.
I do have a TikTok account. I do have a YouTube channel, but I'm trying to get better as far as doing all that, because I would much rather be that person, in my sewing room creating versus being responsible for, getting all of the content out there. And I know nobody's going to know about me unless I do that.
Right.
And, I'm kind of somewhat an introvert. So I would much rather do the behind the scene things versus the in front of the camera things, but I'm trying to get better.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. So what is something that you could just create and just market right now out of jeans?
Uh, Pretty much most of everything that I do. Like, for instance, I go to other excuse me, pop-up events to kind of see, what the climate is, what people are wearing. And what I have found is women might like something one day, but then,
Mm,
the next day they've moved on to something different. So I'm constantly trying to reinvent myself. Right now, because the weather is changing a little bit, the blazers are popular. And this particular blazer I just threw together to make for you guys today.
okay.
So I took a regular blazer and then just cut it off in half and then just added the bottom of a denim jacket.
So tell us about, since you're a celebrity, tell us about when you went to Fox 5 and what experience was that?
That was a very good experience. That definitely took me outside of my comfort zone. A friend of mine who does some of the talent for Fox 5 and other media channels reached out to me and said, I need 3 vendors to do this segment. I was thinking, it's going to be something online, not anything I have to like really worry about. So I didn't pay it any attention. But then when she sent me the email with all of the logistic details, the subject line said Fox 5 interview. And at that point, I was like, oh my God, I have to be in front of people. What's that going to be like? I'd never done that before. And so I reached out to my son, who has had several businesses, and some of them he's had to do pitch competitions in front of people. So he was the first person I reached out to. And he just basically said, Mom, you are a salesperson. You don't realize you are. He said, but you are. Just talk about your business. He said, that's what you have to do. And people will see your passion, from just talking about your business. And that's kind of what I did. And I think that's what made me a little comfortable.
Okay. Okay. So how can Do you accept donations?
I do.
You do.
I
Okay.
get people all the time that either, if say they've lost a family member, a husband, father, son, they'll reach out to me with donations, or people with genes. And one of the passionate things I like to do, especially if somebody's lost something. I've had women reach out to me that maybe had a necktie from their husband or their dad, and they say, we've got these ties, we didn't know what to do with them, and then I'll say, let me do something with them. So I've made them necklaces. I think I put some on a jacket. At one lady, she lost her son tragically, and she had his jeans. So she gave me, I think, 3 pairs of jeans, and I took the jeans, and I think I added jeans on sweatshirt for her. I made her a purse, a couple purses out of them. I just wanted her to have something that she could hold on to and still have a part, of her son with her.
So what's your motivation?
I just love what I do.
Okay.
I love what I do. A lot of people go into business, to make money. And I'm not saying, I'm going to do it for free, because I'm not. And I've been told lots of times, you need to up your prices. You need to up your prices. And I know I do. But to me, it's more important to reach a customer. And this is what I did with my custom clothing business. At the time, I knew men wanted custom suits, but they were so high. So I said, I'm going to create a custom suit for just the average business person that wants to dress nicely, but maybe can't afford $1,000 suit. And that's kind of how I approached this business. Yes, I could charge a lot more, probably double from what I do. But, I have had so many repeat customers because, it's more important to me to create a quality product that someone's going to enjoy, um, that, I put my heart and soul into. And I try to do that with everything that I create. And that's the joy that I get back. And that's what keeps me going.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
So do you plan on opening a storefront eventually?
At first, I thought about it. I would have liked to have had the type of storefront where it encompasses other vendors as well, and I know there's several of those out there, but it's a lot of work. It's like having a whole nother baby. And, I've got a dog. Hopefully, I'll be a grandmother sometime in the next few years. So, for me to do a storefront, it would just really take away, actually, it would take away from me being able to sew. Because I sew, it's a full time job for me. I literally sew every single day.
Wow. Okay.
So, having a storefront would take me away from doing that. If anything, I would like to have a mobile boutique truck where you got one of those buses, and I can have all my racks and designs in there, and at the end of the day, lock the door and go in the house.
Okay.
And I
I
do
see.
sometimes we do pop-ups at my home. So I have a big enough basement, it's unfinished, where myself and I have 3 other vendor friends, and we'll have pop-ups at my house. And it's so nice that at the end of the event, I turn out the light and I go back upstairs.
Easy.
Very
Easy
easy.
peasy. So what advice would you give a upcoming entrepreneur?
Uh, if you're going to do something that you love. And a lot of people don't do that. If you do what you love, then it's not like a job for you. It's not like work. It's you're just doing it because you enjoy doing it. So that's what you have to stick with it. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. I've been to pop-up events where I did make my booth feedback, but it may have been a good networking event for me. So I always try to look at the positive of everything and not necessarily the negative. So I think anything that you're passionate about, just stick with it, because it's a lot of work, and you just have to just be patient.
Okay. So do you have any other upcoming events you can share with the listening audience on the night, Dina?
Um, March 29th, I'm doing an event over in Baltimore. It's the Baltimore Links. I think they're having a brunch, but then the next public event will be the Savor Bowie Festival, which will be at the Bowie Town Center. I believe it's April 12th and 13th.
Okay.
And then hopefully sign up for Artscape in Baltimore in May, waiting to see if we get into that, waiting to see if I'll get into Capital Jazz Fest in June. And then I have signed up for the Ubiquitous Expo, which will be, I think, the 7th and 8th of September, and that will be out at Maryland Live.
Okay. It has been a pleasure to do this interview with you tonight, Dina. I really appreciate you coming on Talks with Top
I
Notch.
got something for you.
Oh, gift.
I heard you like flowers,
I
so
do.
I brought you your own flower.
Look, guys, I have a flower. So you need to get with Dina on Instagram, follow her on Facebook, and you need to get plugged in so you can get a flower and you can get custom blazers and you can get neckties and all the wonderful things that she offers. Good night. This concludes our interview.
Thank you.